Update on Tron Origin. The game is coming along really well. It will be done in time for the contest. I'm finalizing the art. My hope is to have the full prototype completely art ready by tomorrow when the movie comes out, and then I'll have the rules done by the end of the contest. It's going to be a little tight, but I wanted to show you everything that's going on with it. The game is going to play out in over one session. You're going to play 4 different games. The games, there's going to be some story to go with it, and then you're going to be directed to one of these cards, which will set up a scenario and give you a mission to complete. You'll play 4 of these, 1 of each different type of game, and then you'll get a score based on how well you perform. You'll have different maps. So I'll show you the games, just quick overview one at a time. The first game that you can play is a light cycle arena. And I'm just going to be using meeples and cubes, but I will have tokens and light cycle little tokens to put down and trails. So it should be fully thematic. When you're directed to one of these cards, it's going to give you the map setup. So you pick out the map that matches. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one, sorry. So map number 3. So Tron's going to start right at this space in the corner. And then the enemy is going to start in the space in this corner. And the way that you're going to be doing all these different games is with the same set of cards that you will upgrade as you play through the games. You're going to have to improve as well as complete your missions in order to perform well in the games. So the games, you're going to start with these 3 at the very beginning. Each card you play on your turn is going to give you 3 actions. You can attack, you can move, you can attack, and then you'll have your defense stat, which will carry over until your next turn. Each card you play will be modified by the last card you played. So if I started with this card that I play will be 1 boosted by 1, so I'll be able to move 2. My attack will be reduced, so I won't be able to attack, but my defense will be boosted to a stat of 3. So I'll have a good defense and a decent movement for this round. The way you collect upgrades is each game you have your starting cards, and then you'll have 3 cards set out, and they're slightly improved versions, higher numbers, better stats, and they'll sit on the side. You'll notice the symbols on the bottom. There's 1 for each action. When you perform your maximum action of that type, you get the upgrade card. So for example, my maximum movement with all of these cards would be 2 with a boost. So if I ever make a full movement of 3 on my turn, I will get the upgrade card with the movement symbol. If I play my maximum defense and I block an attack successfully, I'll get that defense upgrade. If I make a full attack, I get the attack card. And each round, you'll have these incentives to prioritize your actions, but you also got to survive. The light cycle game, so that's my cards. The master control program, or whatever enemy you're facing, will also have a set of cards. The MCP is going to start with 6. They're a little bit better than yours, but if you collect all your upgrades, you'll be able to keep up and go toe-to-toe. So I'm going to shuffle these, and then I'll shuffle mine and lay them down. And on the first turn, what I'm going to do, at the start of the game, we flip for initiative. Whoever has the highest number will go first. If it's a tie, Tron will go first. So these will be the start out cards, and you will use these to modify whatever card you play first. Tron doesn't have a deck. The cards will just go in your hand. The Master Control Program has a deck. On the Master Control Program's turn, you'll flip the card and use its attacks and movement and whatnot. Oh, and I forgot to mention, after you complete your setup, so this is the full setup, everything's ready to go. I'm going to flip over the card, and that's going to give me the stats for the game. So there's 1 enemy, they have a health, and then I'll have my health set up right here. Every time in light cycle, you can damage people in 2 ways. You can ram into them with your cycle, or if they run into a light trail. If you run into them, your attack will be whatever your stat is versus their defense stat. You subtract the difference from their health, and then the same applies to you. If you run into a light rail, you take 5 damage reduced by your defense at the time. it may be necessary to get out of a tight corner or to move into a better position ahead of your opponent. And that's kind of the strategy of it all. I'll just play through the first round just to show you. So my first, I would want to, I'm set up to complete my maximum movement. So I would play this card. I'd make a movement of 3. So I'd go 1, 2, 3. And I would lay down a light trail as I go. 1, 2, 3. Every space that I leave, I have a light trail. And so that's I completed my full movement. So this card would go just tucked into the bottom of my discard. The Master Control Program, or just the enemy, is going to flip. They're going to move 2. And the way they prioritize movement is they're going to try to move into the space right where I am. That's their prerogative, is to get into the space where I am. And if they're in the same space as me, they want to get in front of me. If there's a tie on like which path to take, you're going to count. You're going to go the shortest path. But if there's ever a tie, there's going to be numbers, and that'll give you a direction to move the computer player whenever you need to. You go based off of that arrow. And if that arrow doesn't match up, just the first direction to match up clockwise. So the program's going to move 1, 2. I'll put down the trail, and we're just going to fill up the board, keep going at it until one of us is destroyed. So there's 4 different variants to each game. So for Light Cycle, there's just 1v1, and they're on different maps. There's a 2v2. What else is there? There's one of the games has a recognizer, so you're battling a Light Cycle, but you also have to avoid the recognizer. So there's a good bit of variety, and I'm excited to share the full version. But I'll keep speeding through and show you what the next game is. So Tank Program works similarly to Disc War. Oh, I gotta complete the setup first. So I'm going to be right here, and then just for sake of convenience, I'm just gonna put these little squares here as the grid bugs. So in this particular mission, you have to destroy these mutated grid bugs. So they're gonna have a health stat, and then you've got your full health. This one has a special scenario where after every turn you take a damage. So you start with extra health, but after every round you take damage. The idea is that you're in the midst of a swarm of grid bugs, and you've got to survive. So they're eating at you, but you got to destroy the big hives. When you make movement, it'll be the same as Light Cycle. You can move forward, left, or right. I forgot to mention in Light Cycle, but there's no going backwards. And in Light Cycle, you must move your full movement every single turn. You can't decide to not make a movement. In Tanks, you can. The variation with Tanks is it costs a movement to turn as well as moving. So if I wanted to go up into the corner, I'd go 1, 2, and then turn 3. So direction's important. However, since you are a tank with a turret, you can fire in any direction, orthogonally or diagonally. So as long as you have line of sight to an enemy, you can fire wherever direction you're in, 1 per turn. Attack versus defense is the same. You've got ranged attacks. And so that's pretty much how tanks will play. You might also face against recognizers. You got lots of different opponents that you can face. I think Tanks is fun. They've got, it's sort of mission-based with the most variety of opponents that you can face. Disc War, setting this up. This is one of the start out games. You're there, you're here, enemies here. I'll lay these down, I figure, so you can see it better. In this particular scenario, you'll set out cubes, and if you move onto a cube, then you heal 1. So that adds a bit of variety, but it's a lot similar to Tank. You're going to move up, down, left, right in any direction, but you're not restricted by forward and backwards. And then attacking is generally the same way. A difference between that and Tanks is if you're in the same square as an opponent, you can melee with them. If you're a tank, you can't fire at that short of range. But in Disc War, you have melee. This one has a bit more variation in how you interact with the maps, and I like that. So a little bit of variety between Disc War and Tanks, but the cards will work the same way. Hyperball is my personal favorite out of all these so far. So, oh, that's the top one that I grabbed. So you start in the middle. You're going to have physical rings set up on either side. In this variation, when you flip your initiative card, based on which card you flip, you're going to remove a ring at the start. So I flipped a 1, so I will remove this ring. So this particular game will be a little bit more difficult. I'm going to leave this on here just for ease of showing you all the rules. This one plays differently. I'm excited to show you. Health works differently in Hyperball. Instead of having HP, you have stamina. And I've play tested this a couple times. You're going to start with significantly less stamina because it can drag on the game. It can help you out very early on, but later in the game, you don't need that much stamina. So whenever you want to modify either your movement or your defense, not your attack, you can reduce 1 stamina to boost that action by 1. And your enemy will do the same thing. If they're just 1 space short of catching the Hyperball, they'll reduce 1 stamina to move there and catch it. When you play Hyperball, you're going to, except for the first turn, each turn after that, you're going to be playing 2 cards. So let's say when you flip for initiative, let's say I came first. So I'm going to play this card. No, not that one. I'm going to play this one. So my movement is going to be 1. So I'm going to move 1. My attack is going to be 2. And I'll just use a cube. And I'll throw the Hyperball. The Hyperball is going to land on the mirror side of the map from where you are. So I've thrown with a strength of 2. The Hyperball is going to land right here. The enemy then has to move onto that space and catch it with a defense equal to or greater to my attack. Equal to or greater than my attack. So let's say that they move there and they catch it. So they'll play a card, or they'll flip a card. They'll move, and if they catch it, that's good. And then they'll flip another card. Let's say move 2, 1, 2 in that direction. And then they'll throw it here. I'll then play a card. And I've got to move 2 and catch it. We'll say their strength is 1. Then I got to move and get there. Oh, that's interesting. So my defense, my movement is lowered, so I wouldn't be able to get to that. So that's a 0. Even if I spend stamina, I won't be able to reach it. So let's say I can move here, but I can't move all the way and catch it. So this ring gets destroyed. So it's gone. And then I will get the ball, and then it'll be my turn to serve. So one card to move and catch, and then 1 card to move and throw. If you're not able to catch it, you still play a card to move, and then you play a card to move and throw. Again, hypothetical, I throw it here. They're able to move here, but even with their stamina, they're not able to catch it. So this ring gets removed. They would fall. What you do is they can make 1 movement, up, down, left, right, 1 space in order to jump onto an adjacent ring based off of their movement decisions. So this guy, let's say he jumps right here. If they have the movement, and you can too, you can jump over gaps. If you have a movement of 2, or if you have a movement of 3, you can make a jump like this, as long as it's in a straight line. Movement, like within all the games, is strictly orthogonal, up, down, left, right. What else is there? So in this situation, let's say I throw the ball and it lands right in the middle here. It would move onto the ring space closest to the enemy. So, for example, if I were right here and I throw the ball and it would land here, it's a tie between where it would land right here or here. It's never going to fall into a gap. It's always going to hit a ring. So it'll fall onto the ring space that is closest to the opponent. And when your opponent throws it, it'll be the same to you. This avoids situations where it becomes completely impossible to ever catch the Hyperball. So in this situation, if the enemy moves here and can't catch it, if this ring gets destroyed, there's no way that they can move left, right to make the jump, and they would be de-resed. I stand corrected. If they don't have the stamina to spend to make the full jump, then they would be de-resed. But you'll play through the game that way. I like this one because it's really tight. It's a fun system. You really have to plan out your cards. You don't want to leave yourself starved like I did right here, where I can't make any movement. That is the general overview of the entire game. I want to just give you something to work with so that if you wanted to play test it, I've got the prototype up. The rules are awful, but they should be traversable. And then the scenario cards, I'll have these up as well. These are definitely subject to change. As far as things that I would change here, fine-tuning these cards, just health, stamina, little things like that. And then finalizing the art. I really hope to have that completely done tomorrow. And I'll keep updating the rules as I go. I'll show those off whenever those are ready. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. I hope you have a great day.